The further along I get in my 20s, the more I see my peers, people my age, start to give up. They start slowing down and pumping the brakes and settling, accepting their mediocre fate. And it makes me really sad to see that, because it's never too late to start. Now, I know you can make the argument like, oh, if you're 40, 50, 60, even some people say 30, it's too late. You missed the window. The train's passed you by. Now, obviously, everyone's life circumstance is different. Maybe you have kids. Maybe you have limitations, disabilities, health issues, obligations. I can't speak for everyone when I say this, but I'm talking specifically for people that have opportunity, have potential, have the time to go out and get it. We're always told on social media, I guess it's with every generation, but I see it now more than ever. I mean, you turn 22 and people call you unk. People, it's all about, being super young now, and you see these memes where it's like, Bill Gates started Microsoft at 20, Steve Jobs started Apple at 19, it's too late, give up. And I know it's an ironic meme, but it does seem to be like something people take seriously. Like, I almost see it as like a weird psyop, like just to get, younger people to just quit and give up early if they're not a millionaire by 23. And it really aggravates me, because I really do believe that it's never too late. I guess by today's standards, I got kind of a late start. I really didn't start taking, my life super seriously until about 23. Yeah, 23, somewhere around there. And I'm only 26. I'm only 3 years in, and I'm nowhere near, where I want to be. But I'm doing more than I ever have before. By the the red pill manosphere standards, I am probably a little behind, because everyone just has these impossible expectations in society now. You got looks maxing, you got that dude, clavicular, no shade to him or anybody in that community, but it's just all about like maxing. You gotta this max, aura max, this max. And I think it just, and like, look, dude, I mean, I care about my physical appearance. I work out, I take care of myself, I eat healthy. I'm not a freaking Giga Chad, but I don't think I'm the worst looking guy in the world either. I put effort into it. But I think it really discourages a lot of people. Even I feel discouraged sometimes. I hear these, I watch these videos, and it's a good message. Like, the earlier you start, the better. I'm not trying to say that that's a bad message at all, 100%. And I'm not making this video to tell you to like put things off. Like, oh, dude, just wait another 5 years, you can get started. Then it's never too late. Like, no, not at all. I'm mainly speaking to people maybe my age, whatever age you are. The best time to start was 5, 10, 20 years ago, however that saying goes, but the second best time to start is now. And that's kind of the message I'm trying to preach here is just start now. Don't let somebody tell you that it's too late, that your window is past, because it's just not true. I mean, you can start making crappy YouTube videos like I do. I mean, that's what I do. I have no time in my life, so I just make these crappy little YouTube videos that nobody watches. But I'm hoping it, snowballs into something one day. And I have a bunch of other things going on, so I'm not, I'm taking very little risk if this thing fails, which it probably will. I don't really expect this channel to go anywhere, but I'm just trying to open that door of opportunity with YouTube. Maybe I'll shift my content pretty soon, or maybe I'll start a new channel, whatever it is, but I'm doing it. I'm starting, and this is something I've been wanting to do since I was 10 years old, literally. I remember back in the day watching, old COD gaming YouTubers from like way back in like 2009, 2010. And I think I still have some videos from then uploaded on my channel, just some these weird old videos. But I wanted to be a YouTuber so badly right now, and I think to myself, or back then I mean, and I think to myself all the time, like, where I could be now if I would have just stayed consistent from back then, or even 5 years ago, but I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now, and that's it, man. That's it. It's never too late. It's never too late to start. And by me saying that, I mean start right now. Don't keep telling yourself that until it actually is too late one day. Because one day it will be too late. But guess what? That day is not today. So get your ass out there and start working on your dream. Because when I take my final breath in this life, whether I die with 10 million in my bank account or 100,000, 10,000, or $10, I want to know that I gave it my everything in life. Win, lose, break even, whatever. I'm going out here and I'm doing my best every single day, and I'm proud of that. And don't let these people tell you that you're old, bro. Like, it's all BS to keep you down. Find that fire within yourself. Find something that just gives you a spark, just like you're lighting a match, like a little spark. You just need that little spark, and that can cause a forest fire. But you know what I'm saying? Like, a little spark can cause a forest fire. That's an interesting analogy, but it is true. Just I'm telling you, bro. Just find that little thing and just take it and run with it until you collapse of exhaustion. Everything's so grandiose on the internet. Everyone's just showing you, the highlights and not the lowlights. And when you actually look at the statistics, when you look at the actual facts, you're probably doing better than most people. I believe the average net worth for people under 30 ranges between like $5,000 and $20,000, something around there. So, like, you're not behind. Even if you don't have that much money right now, it's so easy to get $5,000. I don't care what your excuse is. Once again, I don't know everybody's life situation. If you have kids or whatever it may be, it's probably a lot harder. But realistically, if you are, if you're not paying 3/4 of your paycheck in rent and supporting a family, and hopefully still living with your parents or living cheaply with roommates or whatever, or even if you're in college, like, it doesn't take that long to save up $5,000. It's I'm gonna give tough love, but a lot of it is excuses. You can go do DoorDash, you can go take up these side gigs, you can go learn a skill, you can go into a trade right now. Most trade companies, this is how I got hired. I got hired by a trade company with no experience. They'll teach you on the job to gain skills, and a lot of them pay for your school. So when there's a will, there's a way. There's always a way to get it. And it really is that simple. And you gotta shut off all the distractions. You gotta shut off the Netflix. You might have to cut back on eating out, or going to bars, or going vacations, whatever it may be, for a little while. But it is doable. It is doable. And life is just full of excuses. We all doom scroll and we find 1,000,001 reasons to believe that the world's going to blow up tomorrow, and 1,000,001 reasons to hate each other and to hate ourselves and to compare and to just, find any reason in the world to discourage ourselves. But you know what you're doing when that happens? You're letting your enemies win. You're letting all the people that said you'll never amount to anything, you won't accomplish anything, you'll never be anything in life. You're letting them win. Do you want to let them win? Or do you want to win? Do you want to bring your family generational wealth? Do you want to become a success in life? And success is different for a bunch of different people. You don't have to be a Patrick Bateman, finance bro living in a penthouse in New York or Miami to be successful. You have to figure out what your own vision of success is, and you have to go out and chase that. And right now, my vision of success is buying my time back. that's my biggest goal in my life right now, is to utilize all the money that I'm making now and all the skills and all of the, free time and all of this I have now to buy my time back, to not have to trade my time for, peanuts to make some other person rich. And you're going to have to do that for a little while. Like, you have to pay your dues in life. You got to pay your dues. You got to work those crappy jobs. You got to take crap from middle management and, do all that. It's the name of the game, but you got to build that capital. But then once you have that, if you can put yourself in an uncomfortable position and make sacrifices and just be as frugal as you possibly can just for a few years, and then learn skills and build some sort of business. And it's baby steps, but it adds up. And it doesn't matter where you're at. It's just time to do it. And I'm smack dab in the middle of the sacrifices and the grit and the grinding. And I'm not like, I'm trying not to take it to an extreme to where I get burnt out, because burnout is a real thing too. I still try to enjoy myself. I do it very selectively, and I still make sure that I stick to, my savings and my investing goals. And, I auto invest, and I make sure a certain amount of my paycheck goes to my investments and my savings every week, no questions asked. If I only have a certain amount of money to spend, and once I exceed that limit, then I'm sorry, but I can't spend any more that week. But you can still put money aside to have fun. Maybe you can't take a $2,000 vacation to Europe anytime while you're doing this, but you can still go out. I'm sure wherever you live, there's going to be places that are places around you that you can go explore. I'm sure you can find a bunch of cool things to do for cheap. You just have to go out there, and you have to put your mind to it, and you just have to do it, dude. It's really not as hard as you think once you get the ball rolling. So just take that first step. That's what I'm trying to make this video about, is just taking that first step and proving to yourself that it's not too late and you can still do it no matter where you're at in your life. So I hope you guys got something from this video. I'm really passionate about this because I'm living it right now, and there was a long time where I just didn't think I could do it, and here I am doing it. And that's it. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just all you can expect from yourself is just wake up and do your best every day, and don't compare. Just know that you're a little bit better than you were yesterday. Thanks for listening. I hope you all have a great day. Bye.